To unpack the complexities and implications of this meeting, we welcome Mr. Benny Cook, a seasoned Chinese political analyst based in Hong Kong. Mr. Benny, good afternoon to you, or good evening, and a pleasure to have you with us here. Now, if I may ask you, how would you characterize the current state of US-China trade relations as they approach this high-profile meeting?
Hello, thank you for inviting me. I would say currently United States and China relations getting worsening because you're seeing the both countries not just having quarrels and arguing on trade matters. They have already have many all-rounded, not just competitions. They are dealing with the challenge. They're competing for the bargaining power for the global order. They're competing with the so-called ideological matters on which country or which kind of global governance is good for the world. Not just the economy, but also the political and also the cultural matters as well. So I would say for this high-profile meeting, of course, it's important for Donald Trump because it is the first meeting with Xi Jinping since he got his second office, and also it's both for China and the United States try to have a, I would say it's a chance for both delegations and the both leaders to try to test, okay, what their leaders is going to think and what is going to talk about, what they are thinking. Because without the meetings of the leaders, I would say both countries cannot grasp the whole picture on what the other countries thinking about. So I would say yes, this meeting is important at least for both countries to try to grasp. Okay, what is current state? What benefit could for each side, and also what the other thinks at this moment.
So from your point of view, what is the significance of Trump threatening 100% tariff on Chinese imports, especially the rare earth materials?
Of course, China is trying to get the revenge. Not just the revenge. I would say China. Of course, the trump card for China is, of course, China is the rare earth. So that's why we are seeing Trump is using so-called revenge. Status of revenge is to putting 100 tariff on China's imports. But of course, I don't think Donald Trump would impose the 100% tariff because we are seeing him doing many times that his tariff, so-called a very high tariff, is just a way to do negotiations with other countries. Of course, it would be useful for Donald Trump to impose or to force the U.S. allies, because many of them relies on whether they depends on the U.S. economy dominance, and also they relies on the U.S. military protections as well. But of course, for China, I don't think it's really useful, and I don't think Donald Trump is really imposing such a really high percentage on tariff. It's just, I would say, okay, showing that the United States is not going to back down and doing the United States is going to trying to bow. It is just a way to show U.S. to stay strong as well.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it is important for the United States to do so, because at this moment, both sides could not behave weak. They have to behave strong to the public, to the global, and so that's why we were seeing both countries. Some say they are doing the chicken game, and I would say both countries is trying to see which country is going to back down to get behind at the last moment. So I would say both Xi Jinping, both Donald Trump, we will behave strong, stay strong, for at least for until next year when the midterm elections of the U.S. and they a little bit will be changed because the Republicans may not stay fully holds the power in the United States.
Mhm. Do you think that the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation or the APEC summit would provide a platform for this kind of bilateral negotiation?
Okay. The APEC itself is, I would say, is a talk shop because the APEC historically is so-called forcing the Pacific countries for the economic and trade cooperation. But at this moment, APEC, Asia Pacific has already been divided into two, at least for so-called the Indo-Pacific, that is more pro-US, or maybe in Southeast Asia, they are standing in the middle, and also China is holding, and also creating another so-called China friend through China economic circle. So I would say, okay, APEC summit, okay, is still ongoing, but it is just it is a hollow. It's being hollow. I would say it's just a place for the countries to do the bilateral relations. Yes, it is useful for them, but it doesn't contain much meaning on the APEC itself because the APEC summit from day one to now, the meaning has been changed a lot, and I don't think currently the coming APEC meeting would create. I don't think it would create any peaceful atmosphere now because the decoupling between the United States and China will still go on.
Right. Now, beyond tariffs, what other issues are likely to dominate the agenda of this meeting?
Okay. Of course, tariff is just one of the matters or just one of the maneuvers that the United States put pressure on China, and it is also one of the matters that China are concerned from the pressure of the United States. Besides tariffs, of course, Taiwan, South China Sea would be another very important issues for both countries that you're going to deal with because tariff is about the economic order and about the trade, and Taiwan is about the geopolitical power that which country could control or dominate would have a very high influence on Taiwan Strait or in the South China Sea, then the country would control the coming global trade maritime route. That would be the key for the coming global economy order. So I would say, but of course, such kind of meeting, even though both leaders would, of course, they would raise the Taiwan problems, they would raise the South China Sea problems, they would raise the tariff, but I don't think, okay, it is just for, I would say just they're just to the, they need to say what they have to say, but I don't think such high level meeting would have such kind of problem be solved because it is a structural differences between the two countries. Such problems may have to be solved by some military conflicts. It is not that really easy to be solved in a negotiation table.
Mm-hmm. Now, how, from your point of view, might China respond diplomatically and economically if these tariffs were not imposed? And what exactly are the risks if no agreement would be reached before the November 10th, when the agreement expires, or when the trade agreement would expire?
If those if Donald Trump do impose some kind of tariff on China, I would say China would speed up on diversifying its export to other parts of the world. And you saw that's how you were seeing the trade China exporting the United States has been dropped a lot, and the export to Africa and other developing countries has been increased a lot. So I would say such trend, if the meetings just fail, and Trump do have some certain kind of tariffs imposing on China, I would say the trend for China to trying to divert its export to the developing countries will speed up. And yes, it is one of the trends that many of us should have to look at. And for the diplomatically, I would say without this meeting, China has already strengthened its so-called global South cooperation. And after this meeting, such global South cooperation, China leads global South cooperation will still go on. Whether this meeting is they will meet, or whether they wouldn't meet, such kind of trend is also go on. So that's why I would say the structural competitions between the United States and China would still go on. Whether this
yes, Mr. Kwok, it's clear what you want to say here, and it remains to be seen. Mr. Benny Kwok, we thank you so much for your valuable analysis on this critical juncture in U.S.-China relations. And we've been watching In Focus, and stay tuned for more analysis and perspectives on the top stories shaping our world on Qnews.